Today is day 39 of 100 random acts of kindness. Now that I have a YouTube channel, I have been doing a few other things here and there. And so I've been posting videos and then sending links to different groups that I belong to for different things. When I do that, I keep it private so that you guys don't, there's no confusion of what is this talking about. This has nothing to do with random acts of kindness. But in doing that, I have to change it to private, and then when I go to post a public one, I swear I'm changing them, but I don't notice them sometimes until a few days later. So it's looking like I'm publishing 3 in one day, because when I realize it, all of a sudden I'm going in and changing it to public. So I am very annoyed with the process because it looks like I missed 3 days. And then all of a sudden there are 3 posted, and that's not what's happening. But so if you see one that's missing, I know it's also frustrating that I'm posting every day, but people can't see them every day, and people who are watching it regularly I would get annoyed if I was watching something on the regular and it wasn't coming through every day. So I'm really trying to catch those when they happen, but I think things will slow down because the one thing that I'm working on is done this weekend, and then the other thing is done for now. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that. Secondly, tomorrow, Keith and I are flying out to Newfoundland. And on Saturday morning, I am doing a workshop with Jeff Eaton, who's the founder and executive director of Young Adult Cancer Canada. I have so much respect for this man. He was diagnosed when he was 22. He's now 42. He is the whole reason Yaak exists. They are this amazing group of people. I know I don't even know half. I don't even know 1% or 99% of what they do. But between Corrine and Leslie and Jeff and Angie, and I know there are more who I have never met, they are incredible. If you are a young adult, which is under the age of 39, over the age of 18, I believe, with cancer in Canada, you got to check them out. They're nice, small, grassroots, but they connect people nationwide. They're amazing. So I tweeted something out about legacy. Jeff contacted me and said, how do you feel about doing a workshop on legacy? And this doesn't even, I am so excited. So we've been on conference calls a number of times in the last 5 weeks, maybe, going back and forth with slides. I am just, this is so cool. And the fact that I am so into my legacy and wanting to create a legacy and now doing a workshop on it. And I feel finally like I'm putting my degrees to use. I have 3 degrees in education. So I love getting up in front of people. There is like 0 anxiety and 100% excitement. The workshops will be very small. It's not like we're getting up in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. But I am so pumped, which leads me to my random act of kindness. So Keith and I then are going and exploring Newfoundland for 4 days. Just the 2 of us away from the hospitals. I don't know if I'll answer my phone. We're going to look for puffins, which I talked about when we were in Iceland for part of our honeymoon, when the wheels picked up and we were flying out to Portugal. I know that is packing was very confusing for that trip, going from Iceland to Portugal. The climates are a wee bit different. Anyway, I thought, I'm never going to see puffins. I didn't see them on this trip. I'm never going to see them. And now we have the opportunity again. And oh my gosh, I am so pumped. So what Keith doesn't know, he's not home from work yet. He's been working like a crazy person. We are just, the timing is just so perfect. If my symptoms can just stay the way they are, they're not great, but manageable, then this is perfect timing. So we booked a few Airbnbs. We looked at a number of places. A lot of places were sold out for bed and breakfasts. And I also didn't get clearance until the last Wednesday, 8 days ago. I still didn't know if I was going, and I just got clearance. So we booked everything last minute, which I am not that type of person. I like planning, but here we are. So anyway, we go on Airbnb and I find this place up in a point where there's a lighthouse and there are icebergs there right now. Just so excited. And so I emailed this woman And after, I think it was after I booked, and I emailed and said this is actually a really special trip, and we're looking for puffins, and told her kind of what we were looking for if she suggested anything. And then I said, in addition, I told her about the cancer, why we're going out there, Young Adult Cancer Canada. I have no, if anything, I just think it's good to talk about cancer for somebody like me because it really helps demystify it. The thought of when people just, the blood draws from their face when they find out that I have stage 4 cancer. Yes, it is shocking. I'm not saying that people aren't, that's going to be the reaction. But by me talking about it, I feel like they're maybe a little more able to talk about it in their lives with somebody who has cancer. I don't know. I don't even know if this makes sense, but this is what my approach has always been. So I mentioned that I have cancer and we're coming to stay there. And so she writes back and she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited. And thank you for choosing, my Airbnb. And so I emailed her a couple days ago and I said, is there a fan? Because I'm such a hot sleeper with being in medically induced menopause. So I said, is there a fan? Not a big deal if there isn't. Like it's going to be cold. We can open the windows, but just, I don't know, maybe if we're in St. John's and I see one, I'll grab one to travel with kind of thing. I didn't say that part. And so she emails me back and she said, I have a ceiling fan. And so I wrote back and I said, that'll do. That'll be fine as long as there's some air circulation. So she writes back to me and she says, well, I'm in the city today or in town today. I'm going to pick one up. It'll be a nice addition to the unit. Like, why? Like, that's so nice. So I emailed her back today and I said, oh, geez, like, you really didn't have to do that. That's very nice of you. Nope. It's a good addition to the unit and, happy to do it. So I asked a few other questions about what we were looking for and this and that. And then she emails me back. This is the best. And I don't know. Like, I wonder if I didn't have the communication, if I didn't have if I wasn't as open as I am to talk about cancer, people are so willing to help all the time. And that just makes me feel so supported. So she emails me today and I think this is just a big deal. Maybe she's just this kind of person. I feel like it's for us. She emails today and said, do you guys like seafood? So I wrote back and I said, we love seafood. And in Ontario, you're kind of landlocked. Like, you can get seafood, but I mean, East Coast seafood is like amazing. She emails me back and she says, my husband is a crab fisherman. Oh God. And he is planning, I think, to go out that day that we arrive. And so there'll be fresh crab in your, look at, I'm getting a hot flash because I'm so excited. This is ridiculous. There'll be fresh crab in your fridge for when you get there. Like, best news ever. I've obviously had a really good day. My plan was to do a whole bunch of stuff and I've done like 90% of it, which is not the typical situation for me these days. And so this was like the cherry on top. I'm so excited to tell Keith how wicked is that, how kind is that, just to brighten our day. And it's those things. That is my washer going off right now. It's these kind of things that really just make the day-to-day easier. And I'm sure she's just thinking, oh yeah, I'll just throw some in the fridge. But it's one of those things that obviously I felt compelled to do a video about it. And I will tell so many people about it because I think the kindness of strangers, and this is a random act. She doesn't know me. Nothing. This won't impact anything outside of her just being a kind person. So to Sonia, thank you so much. I don't know what to say. And some of you might be thinking, oh, okay, you're overdoing it a bit. But I legit think that this is just so nice. I often think about putting this house on Airbnb because we have a very large house because we intended to have children. And I just think, what would I leave for people or what have you? And I can't say I'd leave fresh seafood because it's delicious and I would eat it all. Anyway, talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it from the airport. Oh, so excited. Legacy. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Oh, and I was trying to keep this under 10 minutes, but I'm losing that bet. It's 10 minutes now. On Saturday night, I'll try to, I don't know what I'll try to do. I'll try to maybe say the link tomorrow or post it on this video or something. Saturday night of the Yaak conference is the big Cancer Hookup. And so it's kind of like, I think it's an hour and a half, maybe an hour. And Jeff Eaton interviews, he does a few things. Kathy does a thing, she's hilarious. She's part of it. Jeff interviews people. It's just kind of like a what's it called, variety show based around cancer. And it's going to be live streamed on Facebook. So I think if you go to the Yaak Facebook page, Young Adult Cancer Canada, or YACC, and you should be able to see it at some point. I think it starts at 6 p.m. Ontario time, like Ottawa time. And I'm the third guest. Surprise, I'm the third guest. So I'm talking about gratitude. And Jeff kind of said, if you can be grateful every day for 100 days with stage 4 cancer at the age of 31, I think we can all take a page out of your book, which I think is pretty darn amazing. So Saturday is just going to be this wicked, wicked day in between the Legacy Workshop. Oh my gosh, I'm 11 and a half minutes. In between Legacy Workshop and Big Cancer Hookup, Keith and I are going to explore. I'm hoping to hit Terry Fox 0 Mile, Cape Spear, which is the easternmost point of North America. I've been to, Keith hasn't, Kitty Vitty, which is a cute little community outside of St. John's. It's Quidividi, I think. Last year when I first heard it, I thought it was like a video about cats, like Kitty Vitty. It's not. Yeah, and I think there was somewhere else, Cape Spear. Oh, and Signal Hill, of course, in St. John's. So thank you for listening to me babble on. Obviously, I've been keeping this a little quiet because I wasn't 100% sure about everything, but we've booked everything. It's all ready to go. We fly out tomorrow, and we're going to have crab in the fridge waiting for us on Sunday, I think. I'll have to look at everything, but I think it's Sunday or Monday, but I think it's Sunday. Thank you so much for listening this whole time to me gab. I'm not even on like an upper or downer or whatever. I don't even know drugs, but I'm just obviously having a really good day, which hasn't happened a whole lot since my cancer progressed and I broke my hip and all that fun stuff. So talk to you guys tomorrow.